I'm Brad, and I've been a tour guide for nearly 10 years. It's been my pleasure to show the best that my country has to offer to the hundreds of guests I've hosted over the years. Now you get to be my guest as I take you on an eco tour of paradise. Hey guys, welcome back for another exciting episode of Brad's Bahama Eco Trip. I'm Brad, and today we will be showcasing Petersons Key. Now, Petersons Key is a little far away. However, on another segment, we're going to actually get us on the key, up close and personal, so we could really get an understanding of the animals that you can find on it. But as far as what a key is, it's basically a small, low-lying island or sand embankment that has it's comprised of coral fragments or sand, and it's usually relatively small. Now Petersons Key is a very famous key simply because it's a bird sanctuary. Okay, we have over 30 national parks in the Bahamas that are all operated by the Bahamas National Trust. That's a non-profit organization that's responsible for preserving ecosystems and wildlife for future generations of the Bahamas. Petersons Key is a bird sanctuary specifically for the bridled tern. That bridled tern is a small ground nesting bird that particularly likes to nest in rocky areas that can be found on that key in the summer months, particularly June. Okay, now Petersons Key is a little biodiversity mecca for all sorts of animals like crabs and small lizards, and especially birds. Petersons Key is also very popular for the reef systems that surrounds it, that features star coral, brain coral, and staghorn and elkhorn coral. So there's lots of tiny little fish that make a home for themselves around the key as well. Now, as we mentioned before, Grand Bahama features about 33 miles of beautiful sandy shoreline, and we've caught the beach at a great time. We're on Barbary Beach right now. We have a very vast intertidal zone, and that manifests itself even more when we experience the effects of the full moon. It has a greater impact on the tide when the moon's gravitational pull is greater on the Earth at certain times of the month. Alright guys, we have a beautiful view of the south side of Grand Bahama, an area called Barbary Beach. And Barbary Beach is not only very popular with visitors to our beautiful island, but also to locals. This is one of the beaches that's a few miles closer than Gold Rock Beach is, so it's a perfect spot for a little bit of isolation and anonymity. Now, having so much beach, one might think you would get tired of these types of views, but never gets old. Guys, what we have here is a propagule and an example on just how far these baby trees can get from the original host plant. Now, I did mention on previous segments that the mangrove has the ability to give birth to live young. We call that a viviparous nature, and how the spreading of this propagule can span over many miles due to its halophytic nature and its overall durability. So you can find mangroves in 70% of the world's land masses, mostly in the tropic zones, simply because of the strength of this little guy. So of course this wasn't placed here. It's made its way from a mangrove from as far as who knows where to find itself on beautiful Barbary Beach in Grand Bahama to possibly bring forth mangrove vegetation that can preserve our coastline. Okay guys, what we have right here are coast sandburrs, otherwise known as the Cenchrus incertus. Now the sand burl is medicinally used for the treatment of kidney problems and fevers, colds, and vomiting, and it is boiled into a tea, basically the grassy portion of it. Now we know these guys for causing us quite a bit of problems as far as stepping on them on the beach. They have spines on them, so you want to be careful when you're walking around with your bare feet. You don't want to step on any of these guys, but they're usually found in the sandy areas in what we call the frontier zone, right near to the beach. So watch out. Okay guys, what we just found on the beach is what's known as a sea whip. And these types of corals come in many different colors. A lot of people look at these and may possibly think that it's a tree or a branch, but these are actually found in the ocean, and they belong to the order of the Gorgonians, or Gorgonacea, and the phylum of Cnidarians. Now Cnidarian starts with a C, the C is silent, and the Cnidarians are basically invertebrates, marine invertebrates, that some of them have the ability to sting. So divers should be aware that when you're swimming around corals, not only do you want to be careful not to touch coral because of its fragility, but also because of the fact that some of them have stinging properties. So jellyfish belong to that phylum of animals that are like this little guy, the sea whip. So some of them have stinging cells, and they release these little darts that can cause severe irritation. But just another example of some of the hidden treasures that we have in the Bahamas, not only terrestrial based, but also in our oceans. I'm glad I got to share this part of my home with you. If you've enjoyed the tour, be sure to click the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you on our shore soon.